Good evening and welcome to Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball. Live from Pomfret Baseball Stadium in Middletown, Connecticut at Palmer Field. Tonight, matchup, Ulbrich Steel versus Malloves Jewelers. Leading off for Ulbrich is Chris Anselmo on a drive to right center field, way back! And it's gone! A home run! A home run for Chris Anselmo to lead off the game on the second pitch. And Ulbrich busts open with a 1-0 lead. A long drive to right center field there into the bleacher area onto the football stadium seats, and Ulbrich breaks out right away. Right fielder Anino at the plate here gets a free pass. And up steps the big right-handed hitting first baseman, Barrows, one of the league leaders in home runs and RBIs, with Anino being held on at first. And here's the first pitch to Barrows. Ball up high. Count runs to 2-0. Anino being held on by Gorgas, the first baseman for Malloves. Barrows with a pop fly, playable on the first base side, and Gorgas hauls it in for the first out. Mallows back home here in Middletown at Palmer Field for the first time in 26 years this season, returning to Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball. 3-10 record thus far. Ulbrich comes in at 3-9. And the catcher, Tyler Pop, at the plate. Two and one to Pop, one down. with Anino at first. And Pop would have drive past the shortstop. And Ulbrich keeps this inning alive with one down and runners on first and second. And up steps the third baseman, Wes Ulbrich. And a little flare toward third on a one hopper tight over to second, and on the throw down to first in the dirt scores Anino. So on the attempted double play, the fielder's choice for Ulbrich scores the second run here in the top of the first. And the designated hitter, Musan, steps up. And a little flare towards second will end the inning. Musan retired there for the third out. Ulbrich breaks through right away in the top of the first with 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, 1 walk. The leadoff home run by Anselmo. And Malloves Jewelers coming to bat. Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball. Appreciate you listening to our live stream this evening and all throughout the season. Reminder, we will be here on July 14th, a week from tonight, here at Palmer Field for 4 games, including a feature game under the lights for our Hardball for Heroes charity series. That's 4 games, all 8 franchises, 1 price admission. Hardball for Heroes charity series to benefit the American Legion. Join us July 14th, 1 week from tonight, for that special event here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. For Mal Jewelers, leading off, third baseman is batting third. Jared Flommer, the left fielder, batting fourth. Motica, the catcher, batting fifth. Dixon in center field. Batting seventh is Mashad, designated hitter. Batting eighth is Budzik, the shortstop. And batting ninth is LaChance, the right fielder. And a ball drops in for Michalcik. And Malloves has their leadoff batter on here in the bottom of the first. First pitch strike to Chris Budzik here, left-handed hitting. Budzik is now down 0-2 early in the count. Ball outside there. Michalcik on at first, being held on by Barrows. Malloves looking to get right back in the game here. With no one out and one runner on, down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. So Budzik on after being hit, being down early in the count, and Malloves has a little something going here with a bloop single from Michalcik at second, and Budzik now, the second baseman, Chris Budzik, now it's at first after being hit by the pitch, and upsets the first baseman, Gorgas. 2-1 to Gorgas. Is a drive to left field, and that'll fall in, and Malloves will cut this lead and have themselves runners in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, left fielder Jared Flommer, and no one out. Gorgas doubles here to get Malloves on the board and cut that Ulbrich lead to 2-1. And Flommer with a base hit to left. And Gorgas kind of eases his way into third while Chris Budzik crosses the plate to tie this game up. So Flommer with an RBI single to left. And Malloves still in working order here with no one out. And runners on first and third. So up steps the fifth batter of this inning, a 3-1 count to Motika. And runners on first and third. No one out. And a little flare towards short. Fall in, and they're going to try and get a double play out of it, and they do. So the 6-4-3, but the run crosses, and Malloves has a 3-2 lead. Had a late change in the lineup. The second batter, second baseman Chris Budzik, is out, and Anthony Franco steps in. And he was the batter that was hit by the pitch and scored the second run for Malloves. So we'll keep that in mind as we move along here. And a towering pop fly toward right center, and the center fielder Anselmo settles under it to retire the side. So for Malloves, 3 runs on 3 hits. No one left on. No one left on. And a 3-2 Malloves lead. Baseball fans, Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball, I'd like to remind you, July 21st from Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut. Our Spreading Orange series, charity series for multiple sclerosis. Join us for 4 games, all 8 franchises, 1 price admission at the beautiful Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut on July 21st. All 8 franchises, 4 games for multiple sclerosis. Join us. All proceeds will be a part of the Greater Hartford Twilight Charity Community Series throughout this season. Back here in the top of the second, Malloves in with a 3-2 lead. And Ulbrich sends up Pryor, Pizzona, and DeMayo. The 7, 8, 9 hitters face off against Malloves here in the top of the second. Umpire now at 2-2. And a ball outside will run the count full. And up steps Pizzona. Takes the first pitch strike. And a little tapper back to first. And the underhander retires the second batter, Pizzona. So the shortstop, DeMeo, steps up with hopes to get a 2-out rally rolling here for Ulbrich. A 1-1 to DeMeo. A fastball outside. Ball in tight there. Runs the count even at 2-2. 2 down here in the top of the second. Ball outside, runs the count full now. And the payoff to DeMeo, fouled back here. And we'll do it again. And a beautiful strike 3 right there. A fastball with some movement, maybe even a slider. Catches DeMeo looking, and Malloves retires the side in order. 2 strikeouts and a tapper back to the pitcher. So at the end of 1.5, it's Malloves 3 and Ulbrich 2. Leading off for Mallows is 7-8-9 hitters, and a tapper over to short on a 1-hop. DeMeo over to Barrows, retires Machad, designated hitter. And up steps the shortstop, Nick Budzik. Takes the first pitch strike there. And a drive toward left center field will fall in. And Budzik glides into second with a stand-up double. And here's the right fielder, Bubba LaChance. And a fly ball toward right field, hauled in there, and Budzik tags up and gets into third. The ball a little up the line. Budzik able to get in pretty easily. So now with 2 down on the sacrifice, Malloves back up to the top of the lineup. With the third baseman, Macharsal. Macharsal singled in the first and scored on the Gorgas double. And a pop toward the right side, out of play, and in the bleachers. Barrow's chasing it. Runs out of room. And a ball thrown past the pitcher on the third pitch strike to Macharsal will score Budzik. So an error there in the middle of an at-bat. Uncommon play to get a run home. And Malloves extends their lead to 4-2. Count runs even now. And a swing and a miss will retire the side. So Mallows gets a gift run here in the bottom of the second. Double by Budzik, sacrificed by LaChance, and then a throwing error on the third pitch back from the catcher to the pitcher, lands in center field, and Budzik scores from third. And at the end of 2 complete, it's Mallows 4, Ulbrich 2. Back here in the top of the second. Leadoff batter, center fielder Chris Anselmo. Now down 0-2. Anselmo homered in the first on the second pitch of the game. A long drive out to right center field. Into the bleachers. Gave Ulbrich an early 1-0 lead. Count now runs even at 2-2. Now we'll go 3-2. And a ball inside, and Anselmo's on with a walk. And the second baseman, Greg Anino, steps up. Anino walked in the first and scored. For Ulbrich's second run. Anselmo leads off first. Gorgas holding him on. And the ball behind the catcher now runs a count 2-2, and Anselmo moves to second on the pass ball. And a little dribbler foul of third. And Tyler Lord now even at 2-2 to the second baseman Anino, with Anselmo at second. Franco, the second baseman, shading over toward the bag. And Anino goes down swing for the first out here in the third. And up steps the first baseman, Peter Barros. Barros among the league leaders in home runs with 3. Would love to get a hold of one here to put Ulbrich back on top. Ball outside from Lord. And a high pop fly towards second. Franco under it, called off. By the shortstop, Budzik, who makes the play well over into second base territory, second base fielding position. Might have thought he had looked like Budzik might have had an early beat on it. He was following the ball the whole way through. And up steps the catcher Tyler Pop. Anselmo stays at second now with 2 down. Wind blowing out toward center, left center. And a ground ball toward third, and a beautiful play there by the third baseman, Marchesal, moving to his left and circling around with a perfect throw over to Gorgas to retire the side. So for Ulbrich in the third, no runs on no hits. 1 runner left. At the end of 2.5, it's Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 2. So for Ulbrich, here in the bottom of the third, back on the mound is John Mormile. And that's just what Ulbrich would like to get out of their starting pitchers. Anthony Franco steps up to lead off here in the bottom of the third. Franco was hit by a pitch and scored in the first. For Mallows, it'll be Franco, Gorgas, and Flommer to see if they can extend this 4-2 lead. Franco fouls the 2-1 curveball back, so the count now even at 2-2. And another foul back here. If you haven't been to Palmer Field in a while, now's the time to do it. The city of Middletown has invested quite a bit of money into this facility, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. All brand new amenities around the stadium, and a fly ball to the left retires Franco with the first out. The entranceway, the field, concession stand, supply and equipment shed is all brand new, and a little dropper between first and second will get Gorgas on the first and his second hit of the game. Gorgas doubled and scored in the first. And has himself a 2-hit night already. So he's on at first, being held on there by Barrows. And up steps Jared Flommer. Flommer among the league leaders in hitting for Malloves. Flommer with 14 hits. And a little tapper towards second. Will advance the runner, Gorgas, to second. And Flommer will record a fielder's choice there, 4-3 for the second out. And up steps the catcher, Motika, who has a chance here with a runner in scoring position. Jared Flommer among the league leaders in hits, 14 hits. One behind Vernon Oriole hitters Jack Halpin and Tyler Pogmore, and Ian Halpin, the other Oriole hitter, leads at 17. So here's Motika with 2 down. And up here on the count 2-0. And Mormile falls behind him, the 5-hitter, 3-0. And a ball outside. And Mormile will have to face Dixon, the center fielder. Mormile straightens it out and gets a first pitch strike here to Dixon. Barrows behind the runner, Motika, at first. Not a lot of movement around second. Looks like Ulbrich straightaway center field. And Anselmo under it. Retires the side. So for Malloves, no runs on 1 hit. No errors, 2 runners left on at the end of 3 complete. Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 2. So here we go in the top of the fourth for Ulbrich. The third baseman, Wes Ulbrich. Musan, the designated hitter, and Pryor, the second baseman. The 5, 6, 7 hitters. Let's see if they can claw their way back from this 4-2 deficit. And a fly ball toward right. LaChance retires Ulbrich easily for the first out. And Will Musan steps up. The count now even at 2-2. Fouled off there. Musan got tagged on the left shin. Working to shake it off here. And Motika takes a chance, takes the time now. Talk to Lord for a second while Musan shakes it off. Another ball fouled back. And a flailing line drive base hit past the shortstop. Gets Musan on with one down. And up steps the second baseman, Paul Pryor. Pryor struck out in the second. Lead off that inning. With a chance to move the runner here in the top of the fourth. And Lord now up 0-2. Foul back at first. Musan being held on at first by Gorgas. Lord not giving him too much attention. Ahead here, 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Gets Lord his fourth strikeout of the game. So now with two down, left fielder Pizzona steps in. And another strike there by Lord. Lord just missed on that pitch. Count now at 1-1. Puts Tucker Lord up 1-2. And foul ball third. One and two with two down. Musan at first. And a ball inside runs the count even. And a beautiful curveball there by Lord. Gets Pizzona swings for his fifth strikeout of tonight's game. For Ulbrich, no runs on one hit. No errors, one runner left on. At the end of 3.5, it's Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 2. And we're back. 1-2 to Mashad, the designated hitter, leading off here for Malloves in the bottom of the second. In the bottom of the fourth, sorry. Mashad strikes out there. Had a pitching change last inning. Dan Livingston on for Ulbrich. And Nick Budzik, the shortstop, steps in for Malloves. And the left-handed hitting Budzik runs a tapper to second. And a clean play and throw over to Barrows from the second baseman, Pryor. So two down now. And LaChance at the plate. The right fielder LaChance had a sacrifice in the second to get Budzik over to third. After Budzik had doubled. And that led to Budzik scoring on a throwback from the catcher. And now the count runs 1-2. Oh, and a foul off the wrist there. In tight on the hands of Bubba LaChance. And a swing and a miss. And Ulbrich has their first 1-2-3 inning of tonight's game. Livingston with 2 strikeouts and a slow tapper to second retires Malloves in the 4th. At the end of 4 complete, Mallows Jewelers 4 and Ulbrich Steel 2. Baseball fans, join us tonight and every night. Live stream on YouTube, GHTBL on line at ghtbl.org. That's ghtbl.org. Facebook, GHTBL. Instagram at GHTBL. And Twitter feed from our website. You can find a Twitter feed on our main website and also online at GHTBL. Couple of defensive changes here for Mallows. In for Franco at second is Brenchek. And in for Bubble a Chance out in right field is Luigi Fazzino. So Brenchek will get a shot in the 5th. He'll be the second batter. Fazzino will take over the 9 spot. In the meanwhile, Tucker Lord buzzing right through this Ulbrich lineup. Now in his 4th strikeout, with the shortstop DeMeo being retired to lead off here in the 5th. And up steps Chris Anselmo, the center fielder. Anselmo with a blast off his bat in the second pitch tonight's game to give Ulbrich an early 1-0 lead. Left center field and a walk in the 3rd, where he was stranded at second. And Lord goes 3-0 now to Anselmo, and I think after that second pitch home run, Tucker Lord not taking too many chances here with a 2-run lead. Mallows 4 runs on 5 hits. Ulbrich 2 runs on 3 hits. And Anselmo has his second walk of tonight's game. One down, and the second baseman, Anino, steps up. Greg Anino walked in the first and scored. And there goes Anselmo to second, and he's in there. Anino struck out in the third. And Tucker Lord's got to work his way out of this with a runner at second. And a bloop base hit toward right field. And here comes Anselmo home. Ball's cut off, and they look like they got a runner in a rundown, and Anino is tagged out for the second out. Anino is recorded with a single. And then with the defensive change, Fazzino in right is scored out on the rundown. 9-3-6 for the second out. And Anselmo scores the third run for Ulbrich to cut the lead to 4-3. And Pete Barrows, among the league leaders in home runs, is up here at the plate. And the ball outside. And that wind is still blowing out from center toward left. And Barrows with a ground ball towards short. Backhanded there and not handled cleanly. Would have been a tough throw anyway for Budzik, who was deep in the hole at short. It had to really fire away, and a clean throw to first to get Barrows, but fumbled it on the way out of the glove. So Tyler Pop is up, the catcher, with Barrows at first, and he's got some power too. Barrows being held on by Gorgas. And Tucker Lord now. Behind in the count, 2-0. And now 3-0. And Malloves has some action in the bullpen. Pop taking all the way on that 3-0. Now 3-1 with 2 down. And a ball outside. So Ulbrich extends the inning. And we got a pinch hitter. Damian Hudson in for Ulbrich. With runners on first and second and 2 down. A strike on the inside corner there to the left-handed hitting Hudson. Hudson with some speed. So on an infield ball, and a ball fouled back there. ball on the ground to the infield. Hudson might be trouble. Barros at second. Pop at first. And Hudson now 1 and 2. Waiting on deck, designated hitter Musan. And a tapper outside of third. Keeps Hudson alive. And a beautiful off-speed pitch there with some movement at the tail end. Got the outside corner. And Tucker Lord looked pretty happy about fooling Hudson for the third out. So Ulbrich gets one across, 2 runners left on. At the end of 4.5, it's Malloves Jewelers 4 and Ulbrich Steel 3. In the bottom of the 5th for Malloves, third baseman Marchesal, then Brenchek and Gorgas. And if we get this far, Flommer will be the 4-hitter, left fielder. Marchesal takes the first pitch, strike from Livingston, who is back on for his third inning. A little bit of a sidewinder there. Evens the count at 1-1. And a swing and a miss. Looked like Marchesal was fooled a little on that pitch. And 1-2 from Livingston. The ball inside. Both of these teams looking for their 4th win of the season. Marchesal, top of the order, stands in at 2-2. And a ball outside runs the count full. And a drive toward center field. Anselmo swings to his right to haul it in toward left center for the first out. On the line drive from Marchessault. And here's Nick Brenchek with his first at-bat in tonight's game. And a ground ball toward the hole. And a beautiful play. Ho-ho! DeMayo deep in the hole. Past the diving Hudson was the ball. And DeMayo, almost Derek Jeter-esque, with a beautiful throw to first. Gets Brenchek on the ground out. So with 2 down, Gorgas steps in. Looks like we're about to have a seeing eye base hit there. And DeMayo swings in late with a beautiful play for the second out. Oh, and look at that. Bat goes flying there. And Livingston records his 3rd strikeout. And Malloves is retired in order for the 2nd inning in a row. At the end of 5 complete. Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 3. Couple defensive changes here for Mallows. First baseman Gorgas moves to the mound, relieves Tucker Lord, who goes 5 complete. Four runs and 4 strikeouts for Lord. The designated hitter, Mashad, moves to first base. And leading off here for Ulbrich is the designated hitter, Will Musan. And Gorgas, a little fired up out there, throws the first pitch to the backstop. Gorgas, hard throwing right-hander, facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters, and is down in this first at bat, 3-0 to Musan. Musan taken all the way with Ulbrich down 4-3. Count now 3-1. And a leadoff walk will send up the second baseman, Pryor. Pryor, who's struck out twice, once in the second and once in the fourth. Leading off in the second, and with a runner on first, swings and a miss. Down 0-1. Pryor goes down swinging once again. And up steps pinch hitter Brendan O'Connell. O'Connell pinch hitting for Pizzona, the left fielder, with one down, and Musan at first. Mashad holding him on. And the pitch from Gorgas is a hard hit single to right. Now puts runners at first and second with one down. And a 1-run lead for Malloves in the fifth. Here in the top of the sixth, sends DeMayo up. And Gorgas now up 0-2. And a beautiful pitch on the outside corner to get DeMayo looking. DeMayo looking. And that's his third strikeout of the game. So DeMayo is retired for the second out. And up steps the center fielder, Chris Anselmo. Let's see if Gorgas challenges him. And a very close pitch there on the outside part of the plate. Misses for Gorgas. Gorgas now down 2-0. Anselmo homered in the first and walked in the third and the fifth. Now up 2-0 here. And a Tapper foul right in front of the plate. Anselmo with a chance to put Ulbrich back even, and a strike. Looked like an off-speed pitch, maybe a curveball from Gorgas. And the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. And Anselmo is retired for the first time tonight. And a big strikeout there for Gorgas. Gorgas strikes out the side, sandwiched between a couple of walks. No runs for Ulbrich in the top of the sixth. Baseball fans, reminder, 2019 All-Star Game at Muzzy Field, August 18th. Join us as your Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball League All-Stars face off against the Connecticut Twilight League. That's August 18th at Muzzy Field in Bristol, Connecticut. In the bottom of the sixth, pinch hitting for Jared Flommer is Therian. So Malloves has their 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up here, and Ulbrich has a pitching change And Nick Hawk now on the mound. And Therian now with the count count full at 3-2. And he gets a free pass. So Eric Therian on at first. And up steps the catcher, Motika. Hawk up 1-2 now on Motika, with Therian leading off first. Barrows holding him on, and Motika fouls it back. And another bat goes flying down the third baseline. And those bats are way out there. The second one launched over the third base coach. So Hawk records his first strikeout. Hawk among the league leaders in several categories in pitching. Hawk is the league leader in innings pitched. Fifth in ERA at 1.67. Third, it's tied in third for complete games with 2. Fourth in strikeouts at 5. And among the league leaders in complete games with 2 as well. So Nick Hawk putting in a lot of work for Ulbrich here as we move into the second half of the season. And Dixon goes down swinging for the second strikeout of the inning. And up steps the first baseman, Rashad. And foul back here. But with 2 down, and Therian at first, leadoff walk. Rashad down here, 0-1 to Hawk. Ball fouled back. Waiting on deck is the shortstop, Budzik. The 0-2 from Hawk. Foul back again. So Mashad stays alive. And they're keeping Budzik busy over in the on-deck circle. Chasing these foul balls back at the catcher. The 0-2 from Hawk. Oh, and he called on a strike 3 on the outside corner. And Michaud, not 100% certain, looking at that strike. Nonetheless, Hawk strikes out the side after the walk to Therian. And at the end of 6 complete, last chance for Ulbrich. Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 3. We move to the top of the 7th for Ulbrich, the 2-3-4. Anino, Barros, and Pop to face Gorgas. Making Jeffries our producer. I'm Dan Saki with your play-by-play. And a special thank you before we get finished with our game tonight to Jenna Young, the Middletown Park and Rec, helping us with the in-game scoreboard here at the field. We'll see if Macon can pan over a shot, if you haven't seen it yet, on some of the plays to the outfield. Jenna keeping up with tonight's game on the balls and strikes, the outs, and the runs scored, and putting the numbers up on the board for our fans here in the stadium. So Anino now with the count even at 2-2. Anino walked and scored in the first, struck out in the third, and reached on a single, but was thrown out, attempting to stretch it to second on the throw in from the outfield.
2-2.
The count runs even now at 2-2. And Ulbrich would like nothing less than a leadoff runner now with the count full. And a ball looked like down low. Held by Motika to frame it to see if he can get the called third strike, but Anino reaches first on the walk, and a dangerous Pete Barrow steps up. And a strike on the outside corner. Barrows popped out the first, and a steal here. Throw down is late. So Anino gets the second with no one out. and a 4-3 Malloves lead. And Barrows down 0-2. Barrows popped out the first. And a pop fly to second. Almost a little bit short of where he flied out in the third. When Budzik came over and picked that ball up behind second base. Barrows singled and was left stranded at second in the fifth. So 1 out here for Tyler Pop. And a ball up high. And Gorgas now down 2-0. With Anino at second. And the ball gets past the catcher, Mortica, and Anino gets the third. And Ulbrich has the tying run 90 feet away with 1 down. And the strategy here for Mallows is to play with the infield in on the edge of the grass. The outfield mostly straight away, and popped up for Motika. He's got a beat on it and a huge out. To retire Pop. And the third baseman, Hudson, will step up. Hudson struck out looking in the fifth for the final out. And a runner on third here. And a first pitch strike from Gorgas. Fast-paced game tonight. If Mallows can settle this in with the final out. And a line foul. Just shy of the dugout. And 0-2 now. And here's the pitch from Gorgas. And fouled again. And this is similar to what we've seen in the last at-bat with Hudson. When he pitch hit for Ulbrich. Down 0-2. Curveball up high and outside. Might have been a junker there from Gorgas. Let's see if he can get Hudson Chase. Got some space there. And a swing and a miss. And Gorgas strikes out Hudson to end the game. And Malloves earns their 4th win of the season at Palmer Field tonight with a 4-3 win. For Ulbrich in the 7th. No runs on no hits. 1 runner left. The tying run, stranded at third. Greater Hartford Twilight Baseball League appreciates you following and listening. Live stream on YouTube. Join us at ghtbl.org for rosters, game information, Twitter feed, and archives. Instagram at GHTBL. On Facebook, GHTBL. We look forward to your viewing every night. We're on, and our next game actually will be here on our schedule right now, we will be back here at Palmer on July 14th for our Hardball for Heroes charity series for the American Legion. Join us on July 14th. 4 games, all 8 franchises, live from Middletown, Connecticut, Palmer Field. For Macon Jeffries, I'm Dan Sacku. Our final score tonight, Malloves 4 and Ulbrich 3.